So here's just a few questions that I just want to throw out there to the world and see what happens. With this knife sheath, they're trying to claim that this was a brand new knife that he purchased off of Amazon. Does this look like a brand new sheath to you? To me, it doesn't. To me, it looks like one that's been kind of battered and bruised a few times. But it also doesn't appear to have any blood splatter on it. But if we look at where it was in the bed, even though I do believe that maybe the police didn't see it right away because only that end part was sticking out, which makes me think that maybe they thought it was like a leather belt, you know, like missing the buckle or something like that. Like it could be misconstrued or identified at first until they pulled the blanket back. However, if you notice, all around where the sheath is on the bed, there is blood splatter. So why didn't they test it for blood splatter, first and foremost? And how could it have not had blood splatter if there's splatter spots all around it on all sides of it? My next question, something I've always wondered, was maybe the knife actually belonged to one of the victims. And maybe, hypothetically speaking, they pulled it out to protect themselves and then maybe got it wrestled away or taken from them, and then it was then used on them. Which could be why maybe Kaylee presented with blunt force trauma to her face, and she's the only one that did, because then the perpetrator would have had a knife in their hand after that, which would also mean that they didn't know to look for the sheath after that. So then I was looking into people that Kaylee knows. I remember going through her pictures online and looking all through her room to see if I saw a sheath that was similar. But what I did find was she has a grandpa. I think it's her grandpa. It's somebody in her family. I'm not going to show the face because that part doesn't matter. But what I am going to show is that he recently passed away before the murders. I'm also going to say that this man had a bike with a very specific leather seating arrangement on it that matches the same style sheath. So could it be a possibility? And this is where, Goncalves, if you guys have any way of reaching out to me, let me know. Is there a possibility that this sheath belonged to this man in your family who passed away, and maybe it was given to Kaylee as a gift? Just a hypothetical, just a speculation, just a curious question, because it would make more sense that the knife started there in that instance than to think that it was slid off of somebody's belt and then left behind. Just food for thought. Just food for thought. And then maybe the reason the trace DNA got on it is because it was flipped upside down on the bed and touched the sheet. The snap was open and touched the sheet. And we know that these girls went to the same store as Koberger on a regular basis, it seems. So maybe they brought some of that DNA home with them, got on the sheet, and then it got on the sheath. Just food for thought. Not saying it's accurate, not saying anything. I'm just putting it out there because I've been wondering about it and I want to know if anybody else thought about this. Okay? Let me know. But also, if any of this has been covered by any other creator, I don't watch everybody's videos. So please don't come at me in a negative way just for asking my questions or putting my info out just because somebody else might have already covered it or something, okay? That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to bring awareness to situations, maybe figure things out that might not have been figured out, and put ideas out there that other people can then grab onto if they want to and run with it to figure out if it's accurate or not. That's what my place here is, okay? So please don't come at me like, oh, this person already said it. I don't know that. I'm not going to watch everybody's videos before I do something, okay? That's just not practical. It's not plausible, and I don't have that much time, all right? But anyways, thank you for those who are watching, and everybody else. Hope to see you again.